Pakistani forces continue to fight the Taliban in the northwestern Buner district, just 100 kilometers from Islamabad. Pakistan's ongoing battle with the Taliban and the government's agreement to allow militants to impose Islamic law in a region nearby is expected to dominate this week's talks when President Asif Zardari visits the White House. Pakistan figured prominently during President Obama's latest news conference.
You're starting to see some recognition just in the last few days that the obsession with India as the mortal threat to Pakistan has been misguided, and that their biggest threat right now comes internally.
President Obama also expressed concern about the fragility of Pakistan's civilian government. He said Pakistan's biggest threat is internal, not from its neighbor India. Experts point to India's measured response after the November terrorist attacks in Mumbai. The three-day siege in India's financial capital was blamed on a terrorist group in Pakistan. In Washington, Anthony Cordesman is a national security expert.
There's no indication that India is going to war. If anything, what Mumbai demonstrated is that both countries can work out even the worst incident.
Stephen Cohen is a specialist on Pakistan at the Brookings Institution.
But I think had there been another terrorist attack at the same time or shortly afterwards, there probably would have been some military action.
There has been no official reaction in New Delhi or Islamabad to President Obama's remarks. Pakistan's stated position is that every state has the right to analyze the threat it is facing and that, in its view, India is a greater threat. On Capitol Hill, key U.S. lawmakers also have expressed concern as Congress considers a $400 million assistance package. Under-Secretary of Defense Michelle Flournoy underscored the need for immediate economic aid and counter-insurgency assistance before the House Armed Services Committee.
But the Pakistan military still has only limited capacity to conduct effective counter-insurgency operations. Unless we provide them with better equipment and training, such operations will continue to lead to short-term progress but not necessarily enduring results.
But Cordesman says Pakistan should fulfill two conditions.
One is you're a strategic ally. The other is you use that money wisely, and Americans can see that the people really benefit from it.
He says when Afghan President Hamid Karzai meets with President Obama, U.S. aid will also dominate.
To create a structure in which Afghanistan can demonstrate that it can make more effective use of aid, and it is the Afghan government that can be trusted to use that aid.
In Afghanistan, U.S. military forces face an increase in fighting as the weather warms up and as soldiers provide added security for the August presidential elections. Cohen says even as Mr. Karzai faces the decision of his voters, tension between Kabul and Islamabad has gone down.
The U.S. is facilitating this Afghan-Pakistan working relationship, especially in dealing with Taliban and al-Qaeda. And I think that's a major development just in the past few months or so.
Experts say this week's talks are expected to focus more on the situation in Pakistan. They say the Obama administration now recognizes that a victory against the Taliban in Afghanistan depends on how fast Pakistan can be brought back from the brink of insecurity and instability. Ravi Khanna, VOA News, Washington.